Hello everyone, this side Diksha Ahuja. Welcome back to my channel Economic Zone by Diksha Ahuja. So, in this video, I have come up with class 12, chapter number 7, Employment, Growth, Informalization and Other Issues of class 12 Economics. So, I will be giving the summary of this chapter to you in this one video. I hope it will be useful to you. So, in this chapter, basically, we have started with the word worker. Who is a worker? Who do something for their living, for some economic activity, for earning money. If that person is known as worker. If I talk about the data of 2011-12, that how many workers were there in India? So we estimated that there were 473 million workers who are working some other economic activity for their living. Out of that, we know that 3/4 were in rural areas and 30% were females and 70% comprised of males, right? And next topic we started in this chapter was the labor force. Labor force means the summation of the people who are actually working plus the people who are seeking work. That means labor force include both the employed people plus the unemployed people who are seeking the work. That means they are searching for the work. So in other words, you can say the labor force is equals to workforce plus unemployment. What do you mean by workforce? Those people who are actually employed, right? So if I ask you the formula of unemployment, you will say the labor force minus workforce will be the unemployed people, right? Before this, you should know in the country worker population ratio is to be calculated. And what is the formula? Total number of workers upon total population into 100. And while estimating for 2011-12, we got to know that 38.6% people who are actually not dependent and are workers, right? Out of which total workers 54% were males and 21.9% were females. We just look into that figures and we got to know that more females are working in rural area as compared to urban area. Just think of why it is so, because urban area people are more educated and better salaries are being provided, so their wives do not have to work. But on the other hand, rural people have low income levels, low economic condition, so their wives also help them to earn a living. So we can say more rural women are working. Out of the women, we can say 24% are workers and 14.7 urban women are workers. Next topic we did was employment is of two types. Employment is self-employment and wage employment, because after this we'll know the data over the years, right? So employment is of two types, wage and self-employment. And you know, in self-employment, the person uses his her own resources for doing some activity, like businessman, like a juice person, juice wala person, right? So these all are self-employed people, a businessman and all. On the other hand, wage employment, those people who are either casually employed or regularly employed. So what do you mean by regular employment? Regular employment means those people who are doing some work regularly and are getting the government regulations, are getting the social security benefits, have extra perks over the income level, right? On the other hand, casual workers only do the work when they find them, and when the work is over, they get unemployed. For example, a construction worker is a casually employed worker, right? Let's know the distribution of this regularly and casual employed, self-employed and all other employment now. So now let's understand the distribution of employment over the gender, distribution among the region, and the distribution among the various sectors, primary, secondary and tertiary. So let's start. First, we should know that in India, according to the data of 2011-12, 52% people were in self-employed, 18% were regularly employed and 30% were casually employed at the time of 2011-12. After that, if we'll understand by gender and by region also. So let's first understand by gender. So self-employment, casual and regular. We saw in 2011-12 that more females were self-employed because more females were engaged in primary sector. So in primary sector, they were working on their own farms. So that's why they were more in primary sector also. At the same time, they are more self-employed. Females I'm talking about. Then if I talk about regular employment, more males are involved in regular employment as compared to females, because males are more educated, considered the like patriarchal period, right? So also more in tertiary sector. You can have a look. Regular employment is more in males, therefore tertiary sector more males are employed as compared to females, because females are not very educated and not very literate as compared to males. So this is the data comparatively male female of self-employment, casual and regular related to primary, secondary and tertiary. Which type of employment is engaged in rural and urban? It is very simple, because rural area consists of primary sector, agriculture sector. Self-employment is more in rural area as compared to urban area. Regular employment, it's obviously simple that urban area will consist of more regular employment as compared to rural area. And if we talk about different sector total percentage in the economy, 48.9% people are engaged in primary sector according to the data of 2011-12. Secondary sector 24.3% people, and tertiary sector somewhere 23 point something percentage, right? So basically all three including 100%, and this is the data which I talked about, the distribution of employment. Let's talk about the growth of employment over the years and compare it with the GDP. This is very important topic which I'm going to start. Let's start. So now let's understand one of the important topic of this employment chapter, that is the changing structure of growth and employment. Over the years, we know that people are moving from primary sector to tertiary sector, but the shift is not tremendous, right? It should be, but it is not. So basically, we need to understand this word jobless growth. Actually, the growth which is happening in our country is jobless, because people are not moving from primary to secondary and tertiary. They are still absorbed in the primary sector, and if somebody have moved, there is no such good employment opportunities. So basically, we need to know that India is growing at 6.5 to 8% over the years in this last 3, 4, 5 years, apart from this 2020, because it is a COVID period. So India is growing. GDP of the country is growing at a good pace, right? If I talk about this graph, 1950 से लेके जो GDP में growth आया है, that is good, right? Some fluctuating graph is showing, but yes, you can say GDP is increasing. On the other hand, if you see the employment, which is increasing, but it has not increased more than 2%, right? It is also fluctuating, but it is not increased more than 2%, and it has reached again to the same level in 2090 as it was there in 1950. वो वहाँ पर वापस पहुँच गया है. So point is, employment is not being increased as per the GDP. So you can see the widening gap between these two graphs. So GDP is quite increasing, but employment is not increasing. So this gap between GDP and employment is jobless growth, because growth is happening, but at the same time the employment is not happening. So you can say when the economy has a capacity to increase the production of goods and services without increasing the employment opportunities, it is known as jobless growth. And this graph is actually telling you the concept of jobless growth, that GDP is increasing, but employment is such fluctuating and not increase more than 2%, right, over the years. And if we talk about the changing structure, definitely the structure has changed. Primary sector से हम secondary sector and tertiary sector में आ गए हैं over the years, right? The ratio of primary sector over the years have reduced, and people have increased their employment to tertiary sector. But you can see the secondary sector, there is not such an increase. There is 7 to 8% increase. इससे ज़्यादा increase नहीं हुआ है, right? But ज़्यादा increase होना चाहिए था. So the changing structure of employment is this, which is not like appreciating. So that's why Modi government is doing Make in India to improve this employment opportunities. But for the time being, this is the actual figures, that our employment opportunities are not present in secondary and tertiary sector. We need to improve that. Let's talk about casualization and informalization. Now let's talk about the employment topic, casualization and informalization. Over the years, we have seen that people are moving from self-employment and regular salaried employment from these two to casual workforce, right? This is known as casualization of workforce. Over the years, we are seeing the shifting of workforce from regular and self-employment to casual workers. This is known as casualization as it is increasing over the years. Now let's understand informalization of workforce, which says that there are two types of sectors you should know: organized and unorganized. In organized sector, we say that those enjoy social security benefits, have government regulation, they earn more than informal sector. Basically, private sector enterprises are included in this, right? And they are much in a better position as compared to informal sector, which do not enjoy social security benefits, earn less, and do not have any trade unions or government protection, right? So it includes all the some public and private enterprises. Okay, this only includes the public and private. This includes only private. So what do you mean by informalization? Informalization means when the proportional workforce in informal sector over the both two is increasing as compared to the total workforce. That means people in the informal sector is increasing. If I see the data of 2011-12, you can see that out of the total workforce, which I told in the beginning of this video, that 473 workforce में से सिर्फ 30% फॉर्मल सेक्टर में है एंड बाकी का 443 इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर में है. दैट मीन्स अगर मैं मिलियंस में बात करूं तो 24 मिलियन मेल्स एंड 6 मिलियन फीमेल्स रेगुलर और बेसिकली फॉर्मल सेक्टर में है एंड रिमेनिंग 306 मेल्स एंड 137 females, basically millions, right? It is in informal sector. So this is the distribution of workforce in informal and informal. So we can say that over the years informalization is taking place. Formal sector कम हो रहा है in the economy, right? I hope I am able to make you understand this topic. Let's move to the last topic of the chapter, that is unemployment. So last topic is unemployment. Unemployment is one of the major economic problem of the country, which is caused due to many causes and being prevented by many remedial measures, right? So you should know what you mean by unemployment. That means people who are willing and able to work, want to work but do not find the work, right? NSSO ये चीज़ कहता है, National Sample Survey Organization is an organization that collects the information on unemployment. So basically, what are the sources of unemployment? You can say the Directorate General of Employment and Training, the Census of India, NSS. So these three are the major sources from where you can get the unemployment data, right? So let's talk about the types of unemployment which is given in NCERT. That is disguised unemployment. Firstly, you should know the additional labor is not providing any output. That means the marginal product of the additional labor is zero. Means कि जो like the people who are employed on a farm is more than it is required, right? Very famous in the rural areas, right? Second is seasonal unemployment. This is very common that if a person is a is producing kharif crops such as wheat, so he will be free in the rabi season, so he will be unemployed in that particular season. This is known as season unemployed. Next is open unemployment. That says that people who are willing and able to work at the existing wage rate but do not find the job, right? And you should know that open unemployment and disguised are totally different, because in open unemployment people are totally idle, but in disguised unemployment people are there in the farm but feel like they are unemployed, right? Next are the causes why unemployment is there in the country. One cause which I feel is very important is defective education system. People are not worked on the vocational training, the actually application based training, but rather they are just being theoretically studied, right? So therefore the remedial measure can be reforms in education. So population explosion, I feel the second cause, which says that more population means the less per capita availability of resources, right? Therefore less employment rate in the country. So next is the control of population growth rate. Less population will be there, more people will be able to get the job. And slow rate of economic growth, we are saying India is growing at 6 to 7%, but it requires 8 to 9% to increase the employment opportunities in the country, right? There are many more causes, there are many more remedial measures in the book. You can watch for the further ones. So next and the last topic, this is important, that's are written in different color. Government policies for employment generation. What government does for increasing the employment in the country. So it improves the employment by doing two ways, direct and indirect employment. That direct employment says the government जब खुद के enterprises में, administrative services में, hotels में, industries में, they hire people, they employ people, that's known as direct employment. And when they increase the output, this increases the raw material production of private sector also. So private sector में भी employment generation increase हो जाती है. So in two ways, direct way and indirect way, the government employ people, right? And by many schemes. You should know that Employment Generation Act, Rural Employment Generation Act, and Swanjanti Sarojgar Yojana, and there are many yojanas to reduce the poverty. Also implies on the unemployment also. So here comes the end of the chapter. This was a summary of unemployment. I hope it was a good lecture for you. So bye bye for today.